Bitcoin is the most useful financial asset in the world.
BitcoinZella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to BitcoinZella today and enjoy the new edge. Michael Saylor, visionary entrepreneur, discusses Bitcoin and beyond, navigating the digital asset revolution. He reveals digital money trends, global innovations, and future opportunities. Watch this video to explore these topics.
The only asset endorsed by a president of the United States in 50 years is Bitcoin. I mean, go back in the last 200 years in the history of the country, and I think if you go to the Founding Fathers, they wrote in the Constitution that money is silver and gold coin. And then at some point, there was a chicken in every pot, and maybe with the founding of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, we endorsed everybody to single-family home ownership. But in the 21st century, you have just one asset, Bitcoin. The president saying, don't sell your Bitcoin. Saying more than that, saying the United States won't sell its Bitcoin. And so everything else you put your client into, if the U.S. government seized any other security that you sold to a client, if they seized any collectible, any art, any real estate, they would sell it. The only thing that the U.S. government won't sell if they are to seize it is Bitcoin. And so what do I think about suitability? I think that you've got the president telling you, you've got David Sachs telling you, you've got Scott Bessent on television this weekend saying, we're going to be the leader in digital assets. You've got the most successful ETF in the history of Wall Street, IBIT. You've got $140 billion of capital flowing into spot ETFs in 12 months. And you've got Bitcoin outperforming everything in everybody's portfolio. And you have the most successful commodity in the history of the world, right? Every other commodity, by the way, is a dog, right? You shouldn't be investing in soybeans or, holding natural gas or
gold,
oil or gold or wheat or corn, because it's pretty obvious capital and know-how will produce infinite supply of that. Bitcoin's the only commodity with a hard cap of 21 million. And so on one hand, a commodity has so many legal advantages. You can market it, you can hold it, you can capitalize a country on it and a company on it. And so it's a big advantage to be a commodity over security, but the only commodity that's going to outperform the S&P index and the cost of capital is Bitcoin. And so right now, something nobody else knows. If you basically take advantage of that knowledge, I think you make your clients a lot of money.
Fund managers are dumping U.S. stocks at a record pace as recession fears mount, reflecting a shift in confidence from traditional equities to safer investments. Investor cash allocations have risen from 3.5% to 4.1% in just 1 month, signaling a flight to safety amid concerns over U.S. economic performance. With Bitcoin's price action closely tracking the tech-heavy Nasdaq and the S&P 500, many wonder if the digital asset might be next in line for decline. Bitcoin has already dropped over 25% from its recent high, a correction that some see as typical in long-term rallies. Meanwhile, managers worry about potential global downturns, trade wars, and inflation-driven Fed rate hikes. Despite these challenges, some still maintain crypto positions, hoping that any dip could present a buying opportunity. The unfolding market dynamics leave us questioning whether Bitcoin can weather the storm or if further setbacks lie ahead. Future trends remain uncertain yet hold promise.
Someone posted $10 million and took like a 40-to-1 leveraged short bet. And so where else can you actually get $500 million of credit by posting $10 million of collateral on the weekend? And so you have massive leverage available, massive liquidity available, and whenever there's a macro theme, if people are wanting to be short risk assets or short anything, the one thing you can short 40 to 1 cross-collateralized by anything is Bitcoin. So it's going to be more it's going to be more volatile. But I actually think that this is kind of a historic entry point because all of the risk has been stripped off the asset. Like, you pretty much know Wall Street's going to embrace it, the U.S. government's going to embrace it, and banks in the U.S. going to embrace it, which means that all the other banks will embrace it. You already know all those things, and yet the market is really skittish based upon concerns about tariffs, the disposition of the U.S. economy, the interest rate forward graph. And so you see the interest rates have pulled in 30, 40, 50 basis points, and we're in this macro risk-off zone. When that flips, I think Bitcoin will rip forward with a vengeance. There aren't any legal issues at this point, right? There's just fear. There's fear of the new, but as a practical matter, there's nothing that keeps you from promoting a commodity. In fact, the perverse irony is, I can stand on stage and tell you Bitcoin's going to 13 million a coin, and I expect 29% ARR for the next 20 years. I don't have securities exposure to that. It's not a security. It's a commodity. It's like telling people they should own land, or they should put a chicken in every pot, or they should own gold. If you were to actually make a forecast of Apple stock or the S&P index, you're actually making a securities representation. So ironically, I think promoting Bitcoin or putting in a client's portfolio is much less legally risky than to actually promote a security.
Bitcoin is facing a new risk as its price nears the crucial $84,000 resistance level. Traders in the risk asset market are on edge, eagerly awaiting any hint of optimism from the U.S. Federal Reserve and its chair, Jerome Powell. As Bitcoin pushed past $84,000 at the start of the Wall Street Open, market participants have been closely monitoring technical indicators and policy signals ahead of the FOMC meeting. A pause in rate hikes is widely expected until at least June, but any unexpected comments from Powell could quickly shift market sentiment. Recent data from major market sources shows local highs around $84,300 on key exchanges. However, caution remains as Bitcoin risks forming a death cross, where the short-term moving average falls below the longer-term moving average, signaling further downside pressure. Analysts note that a dovish tone from Powell could help Bitcoin break above critical moving averages and avoid this bearish technical pattern. On the other hand, any negative economic news or a harsher Fed stance might trigger a retreat towards $76,000, a level that has tested support in previous corrections. Beyond technical signals, broader macroeconomic concerns are weighing on investors. The current nervousness follows significant downturns in U.S. stock markets and rising worries about trade tariffs and persistent inflation. Some experts believe that the effects of recent tariff decisions may take months to ripple through the economy, leaving the Fed in a cautious wait-and-see mode. Meanwhile, retail investors continue to show renewed interest in equities, even as digital asset traders worry about Bitcoin's stability. The coming days will be critical, as positive developments from the Fed could steer Bitcoin away from bearish trends, while adverse news might intensify the risk of a deeper market correction. Investors and analysts remain divided over Bitcoin's future trajectory. While some see the current market volatility as an opportunity to buy at lower prices, others caution that any misstep by the Fed could trigger a sharper downturn. With global economic uncertainties still in play, the debate continues over whether Bitcoin can maintain its momentum or succumb to the pressures of a tightening financial environment undeniably. And do not forget to subscribe to BitcoinZella. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.